we find you.
The list of suspects narrows. Soon there will be no one on the list but you.
So he committed suicide after authorities said that they were narrowing their list. He had a stun gun and he had high-tech boots.
Correct. Stun gun, a bit odd for people to have. High-tech boots, a common thing for people to have. But the real clincher would be DNA didn't match, and he has no connection to the Ramsey family. So he was ruled out, and he was ruled out.
And then Brad, who could forget John Mark Carr, who made quite the headline.
I love Alderney. Died accident. No.
Everyone probably around the world knows John Mark Carr.
Her death was
He committed suicide.
Yes.
Problem is, he wasn't in Boulder, Colorado when she died, and his DNA didn't match.
And that was it. He was ruled out. What does it say about the state of this case and the possibility of ever solving it?
Well, that's a big question.
We went through the people of interest, the suspects, and came up with our top 20.
Take a look at it and run it through their program.
What our team has been doing is focusing on collecting DNA and testing DNA.
Do you want to get in touch with them? Who wants to?
I think we should make the effort.
You want to just start like maybe in September?
And since Lou has passed away, the team has been able to clear a number of people from that list. However, the work is pretty slow because of the time and expense involved in locating somebody on that sheet and obtaining their DNA and then testing it.
We have asked suspects for the DNA, and in other cases, we've, I guess, done it the old-fashioned way with surveillance and trickery.
We got together and followed people and got a discarded cup or some such thing.
So the DNA is evolving constantly. So we're in better position today than we've ever been to solve the John Benet Ramsey case.
We are just trying to eliminate people from that list. And we just figure if we keep at it, hopefully we'll finally whittle it down to one person remaining on that list. Lou Smith's family believes that all but one person on that list is innocent.
Wow, Jesus.
The list murder John Benet Ramsey.
Will the case ever be prosecuted?
Is it still just as mysterious today as it was in 1996?
Absolutely. I think it's even more mysterious now to some degree because people have moved away from John and Patsy Ramsey as possible suspects. And so then you're sort of faced with this question of who the heck was in that house? How'd they get in? Why did they target her? And to some degree, that makes it even more fascinating.
There was a person seen right across the lawn of the Ramsey house. But I didn't murder. Was hired killer trying to get into the house.
In September, we met with the Boulder DA's office and PD.
And what we presented was a confidential list of our top 20 people of interest and the list of the 8 people of interest that our team had eliminated through DNA analysis.
We just don't feel at this point that they are actively investigating this case. The Boulder Police Department says the Ramsey case is an active, ongoing investigation, but they have never publicly commented on the handling of the case.
This team isn't going to give up. There's a third generation.
My daughters and others will continue on with this case when we end up being too old to do it. But we're not going to stop investigating. We're just not going to do it.
This case boils down to the truth. The Ramsey. And if the Ramseys didn't do it, then it's an intruder. And if it's an intruder, the intruder's still out there.
The case took its toll on the whole Ramsey family emotionally and financially over the years. John Ramsey would lose his job and spend millions on private investigators, lawyers, and security.
There are still people today, John, 22 years later, who believe you or Patsy or Burke had something to do with the murder of John Benet.
I know that, and how could they have believed otherwise? Because that's the third hope. You know, even if we have a conviction, confession, and this person's in prison, there's going to be 5-10% of the population that still thinks we're guilty.
My dad certainly suffered a tremendous amount, but I think he's focused on life today and enjoying life with his family and grandkids, and he's remarried. Patsy died from cancer in 2006. She's buried in Marietta, Georgia, next to Jean Monnet.
In my mind, she's still a 6-year-old little girl. That's how I remember her. Every once in a while, I'll see a little child from behind, a little blonde-headed, ponytail girl, about 6 years old, and it catches me for a second because it looks like John Bonet.
The family has not lost the will to fight and the will to find the killer. We work on this daily. There's a group of dedicated volunteers that work on this daily. I want the trauma to stop for the family. And if we can find the killer, then the next generation doesn't have to live with that trauma and the unknown and the speculation. The only way to do that is to find out who did it. I think it's really important for people to understand that this case can be solved. There's a narrative out there that this is an unsolved homicide, and we just have to accept that as fact. And that is not the truth. We leverage the evidence, we follow the facts, we will find this killer.
I used to give people my trust, and it was theirs to lose. Everybody carries a burden. They struggle with loss or heartbreak, but everybody has to have hope. Just recognize that there could be evil around you.